Yeah, it was a dumb move, but he could become the first UTSA Roadrunner to win a Super Bowl ring. That's gonna be pretty interesting.
Yeah, but at the same time, that was a stupid move. Like, why would you do that? Just go over there to the sideline and say something stupid.
The
You
ref
know?
had already told him, "Calm down." You know.
Yeah, it was dumb, dude. Like, keep your emotions in check, because stuff like that can actually cost you the Super Bowl. You know what I mean?
Right. Can't believe the Spurs lost last night.
Oh
Jeez
man,
Louise.
I was calling it. I told everybody they were going to lose. And they went down big to the Pelicans. I said, look, this is what's going to happen. I said, the Spurs are going to expunge a lot of energy to try to come back in. They're going to run out of gas.
Dude, I don't think they ran out of gas. Mitch Johnson just removed Dylan Harper from the lineup, dude. That was it.
He was going with Castle, and Castle was not playing good. The whole starting lineup was not playing good, except for Harper. They were all minuses for the night. Keldon Johnson, too. I mean, it was just bad basketball. Lazy.
Dude, it's beyond Castle, man. Castle's just beyond last game. Dude, Castle has been struggling for the better part of a month.
The team struggles when other teams have found out the Spurs already, and what they do is that they play them physical. And the Pelicans, they have a bad record, but the thing is that they play the Spurs very physical when they do match up against them, and that gives them a chance to win the game.
Yeah, did you see that report? Jeremy Sohan, the Knicks want Sohan, like another report about it all. Interesting.
Saw that.
Give me that bag of Doritos. All we need is a bag of chips for him.
Some Takis.
Some Takis. I don't know, man. We need to throw a second rounder on top of it all if we want to get some Takis back. Doritos straight up.
Yeah. I was telling Chica that to watch that Fever Pitch. I told her,
tried.
I gave an assignment.
We tried. It wasn't going to happen. We are rising together on a very cold Monday morning. My name is Mike Jimenez. It's Joe Garcia. This is the Area 210 podcast powered by the Hard Rock Cafe and La Cantera's PF Chang's location. Hope everyone's having a fantastic day. Hope everyone is staying warm. I'm in Conroe, Texas, where it is 29 degrees, but over in the 210 in San Antonio is a little bit colder, 27, Joe. Did you wrap that pipe, Joe? Did you wrap them pipes, man? You know, it's funny, Joe, because it's icy, man. It got so bad that I couldn't make my way to San Antonio over the weekend. I was supposed to be in studio Monday and Tuesday. Didn't happen. Going to have to reschedule all my Monday and Tuesday appointments that I had for this week for next week. So it's kind of a free day for me, Joe. But we have a lot to get into today, man. Joe, Super Bowl 60 is set. We're going to party like it's 2015, man, because it's a rematch of Super Bowl 49, the Seattle Seahawks and the New England Patriots. Did the script get leaked on this, by the way? I don't know if you saw that, Joe, but the NFL leaked the script back in September. Did you see that, Joe?
Yeah, I saw
that. We'll go get into that a little bit. Drake May, Sean Payton. What was the reason why the Broncos lost that game? We have to get into that because Sean Payton, the snow and all that happened over there in the Mile High was ridiculous. What happened there? Sean Payton wet the bed. He wet the bed. That arrogant SOB wet the bed.
Oh, he went for it on fourth and 1 or something like that.
Didn't even rush it, man. Just gave it to a backup Jarrett Stidham to do something with it. We'll get into that. Over on the NFC, I mean, you could make the argument that Matt Stafford, had he won the MVP and the Super Bowl, would be in elite company, would be considered to be one of the top 10 great quarterbacks of all time. Who would have thought, right? But you see Sam Darnold become the first quarterback of 2018 draft class to make it to the Super Bowl, to potentially win the Super Bowl, because, again, Josh Allen was in that draft. Lamar Jackson, Baker Mayfield's in that draft. You're going to be looking at a player in Sam Darnold who could become the first of the 2018 class to win a ring. What does that say about him? What does that say about organizations when it comes to developing players? Speaking of developing players, the Spurs have yet to develop Jeremy Sohan. The Knicks want him. Another report, a very good, reputable source, coming out and saying that the Knicks have an attraction, if you will, for Spurs Jeremy Sohan. but would the Spurs want what is being offered in return? Getting to that. Speaking of the Spurs, man, Spurs lost again to the Pelicans, the worst team in the Western Conference in the Frost Bank Center. A game in which the Spurs made a furious run in the fourth quarter, led by Dylan Harper. And what did they do, Joe? Just like Champagne against the Rockets, they yanked him. I mean, these are unforced errors, Joe. So lots to get into. But before we get into all that, congratulations to Sean Quintero, over one of the big wigs over at Pia Cheng's La Cantera. They had a gender reveal for his daughter's child, her pregnancy. Yeah. Joe, is it a boy or a girl?
It's a girl. I was there, man. I got there late because it was so cold in the morning. My car was just covered in ice. So it took me a while to get going. And I told him, I'm coming. I'm just going to be a little late. So I went and got stuff for her and everything, I show up there and I'm thinking I missed it. And I'm like, so what is it, a boy? Is it a girl? And they're like, we haven't done it yet. You're just in time. So I'm like, oh, perfect.
How do they do it? How do they do it? Do they do it with a cannon? Do they do it with a cake?
They had the confetti and everything. So they get up there. Sean's up there with his wife, Michelle, and Ariel, their daughter. And they kind of turn the confetti cannons and boom, pink comes out of there. And we're all kind of like, we knew it. We kind of suspected that she was going to have a girl.
Right.
And yeah, sure enough, she had a girl. So congratulations to Ariel and congratulations to Sean and his wife for becoming grandparents,
Yeah, Ariel's fantastic. I've known Ariel for quite some time. She's very sweet. UTSA. She's gone to UTSA. She's done all that stuff. She does a fantastic job. She's a hard worker. She's very, very nice. Congratulations to Sean for his first grandchild. Very, very nice. Upcoming. It'll be 26 will be a big year. So congratulations to them. Also, happy birthday to Greg Dela Cruz. We were supposed to have that joint party with his birthday party and our party for the Area 210 podcast, but our party got delayed because of it all. I know we're kicking around another date, Joe. I'm gonna propose an alternative date to you at some point because we've had some people who are near and dear to the show who've said that they can't make it on the alternative date. We were looking at the possibility of doing it when, Joe, like the 20th, the 21st. I'm hoping to get it done the 28th, to be honest with you, because I have a business trip the 22nd to Charlotte, North Carolina, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that turnaround. So we'll have to get into that, but we'll figure something out. We'll iron out the details sometime this week as to when that party is going to be.
One thing that we got to address too, man, we got to address the walking challenge, right? So you have the walking. What do you call that challenge? What did you name it?
Oh, it's just the Area 210 burn that bonza off challenge.
So basically what I've been noticing, dude, you got to map your walk. You can't log it, dude. You got to map it. Like if you're going to walk, map your walk, like map it. Like you're walking, you got to map where you're going, as proof of what you're doing. If you're just logging miles and you're not mapping your walk, that's not going to count. You have to actually have the proof that you walk the mileage, dude. Like,
okay,
no.
So there's been some debate about this because we've had 4 people going for it all. And when you do the map your walk, you have the ability to either map it where it says, like, for example, you're walking from Petrenko and Talley all the way to 1604 in Petrenko, all the way up to Wiseman, for example. You would map it. And when you see that you walked 3 or 4 miles, it'll show the route that you took and the pace in which you took it, and how long. So we can monitor that, how fast you did the first mile, second mile, third mile, fourth mile. Well, I'm not saying that someone's cheating, but there is somebody in the Map My Wall challenge who's just logging numbers with no map. Right,
yeah, brother logged like 3 miles back to back and when it was cold at night. Like, come on, man.
Well, that particular person's actually not in Texas, so that person.
Yeah, but I'm saying
when you look at their ID, says that they're in the East Coast somewhere, but they do watch the show, man. And they have reached out to me on social media to say that they are taking part, and they're not in San Antonio. So if they're walking it, when it's 20 degrees in San Antonio, it doesn't matter because they're on the East Coast. But it's one of those things that we would appreciate if you map the walk so we can verify. Because
if you're not logging it, if you're not mapping the walk, it's not going to count, dude. Like, we need proof.
Like I could log in right now and say, yeah, I walked 12 miles yesterday, a 12-mile walk from this time to this time, and it just leave it at that. No, but we want to see, how did you do mile 1, mile 2, mile 3, mile 4? So if you are, and we're not going to say the guy's name, if you are listening and you are an avid listener of the show, Map it. Map it. Okay, so we'll get into that, man. Head with fist on our chat, which is powered by PF Chang's Lacateta, says, leave it to the Alamo Sports Crew to cheat. Oh my goodness, Joe! You know what's so funny, Joe? I never get cold. I run hot. Is what Chica says. I run hot. I never get cold. But man, in the house right now, it's 59 degrees. I had to turn the heater on. I'm wearing sweats underneath. I hate wearing pants, Joe. I mean, unless I'm wearing jeans, I hate wearing these sweatpants, but I have to do it right now. And Joe, I will let you know, I did bring the dogs in.
Good.
People were asking me this question. Yeah. I did leave them in. But the weird thing is the dogs, they like the cold. I have my dog right here, Allie. She's wanting to go outside. She knows it's 20 degrees outside. Doesn't care. But Joe, I sent you a photo of last night, Joe. A photo of last night of me with Chica. It's in the Area 210 podcast media share.
Okay, let's check it out.
How I was staying warm last night, Joe.
What did Chica say you were eating?
She for those of you who don't know, she's a dental hygienist, and she does a fantastic job. And last night I had some soreness, so there's Chica giving me some dental work in the house.
It looked like you were dead asleep, bro.
Let's show it, brother.
I'm gonna show it right now. I was logging in to get the picture, man.
Yeah, Dark Aeons is asking, sweatpants not Lululemon? No, these are North Face. Yeah, so that's me last night. It's 19 degrees outside, and I'm getting dental work done in the living room. It was nice. Yes, I had to take that selfie, Joe.
Jeez, man. And what was up with this waxing thing, dude?
Oh, yeah. So that was Friday right before the storm came in. I went to go get a haircut. By the way, that lady tried to get me to wear an apron that had a Kobe Bryant on it, and I refused to wear it, Joe. But at the end, she was like, dude, you got like ear hair. Do you want to take care of that? And they put these lollipop type things of wax all over my ears and my nose, and they just completely just ripped them out, dude. I have video of them being ripped out, but I'm not going to share that. That a little embarrassing, Joe. But yeah, Joe,
a little embarrassing.
All the nose hair, Joe, dude. The amount that was there when it was all said and done.
Jeez.
Crazy.
You're an old man now, dude. That just grows on its own now. You know, you got to kind of maintain that. No, but I was laughing because you sent a picture of food that you and Chica were eating over the weekend. She had you eating full-on Mexican style, dude, but in a healthy way.
Oh, yeah.
You're eating like, what were you eating? Fideo? You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she doesn't do the instant fideo, man. She actually legit makes fideo. You know, she makes it like restaurant style.
Yeah, and she had avocado, freshly sliced avocado for you and everything.
She takes care of her brother, man. Let's talk some sports, man. Super Bowl 60 is set. We're going to have the New England Patriots against the Seattle Seahawks. Joe can take his victory lap right now. Even though the Patriots had one of the easiest schedules in all the NFL, and even though they had to beat C.J. Stroud, right, to make it, and they had to beat C.J. Stroud and beat a backup Jarrett Stidham, they reserve the right to do that, right? They got the path that they did as the 2 seed. They made their way into Denver. They won a road game, a game in which they were down 7-0 early on. Second quarter, Sean Payton with a decision that's going to haunt him for the rest of his life, and it's going to haunt Bronco fans for the rest of their lives. This is kind of like when Manu fouled Dirk Nowitzki in the Western Conference Finals, right? And you're like, oh my God, if only he hadn't fouled him, what would have happened, right? You look at that situation, 4th and 1, inside your own 15. It's a chip shot field goal, Joe.
It is, man.
The snow had not started, and you take the points, Joe. And I know it's revisionist history, hindsight being 2020, all that stuff, right? But at that time, I'm thinking to myself, we have gone from coaches being complete wusses and not going for it to now them acting recklessly. This is the AFC Championship game. You have a backup quarterback who hasn't started in years. You have an MVP candidate on the other side of the field. You take as many points as you can get. And I went back and forth with one of our podcast listeners last night about this. To me, this said not that he had faith in Denver's defense. To me, this said that he did not have faith in Stidham because he figured we're not going to get into the red zone very often.
Well, what happened with the field goals in yesterday's game? That was a big factor because the weather played somewhat of a factor, especially in the second half. But in the first half, there wasn't really a lot of wind, and you could see that on the goalpost where they put the little flags at the very top. And they're blowing left or right. If there's a strong wind, there was nothing. They were just dead still when old boy kicked the field goal and missed. You know, that was just a bad kick. Okay. But then as you start getting further and further into the game and both teams are trying to put points up on the board, field goals became a factor, dude. And the weird thing is the one made field goal that the Pats made, that was the game winner, dude.
Yeah.
10-7.
Well, I mean, you look at it this way. It's 25 degrees and getting colder by the minute.
Yeah.
That ball's a brick. And as we know from Tom Brady in the past, you know, the ball inflates and deflates because of it all. And you can't get the normal timing rhythm, Joe. The normal timing of it is you're indoors or you're on dry surface, or even if you're in the rain, it's okay. You have a rhythm to it all. But getting it done on ice or getting it done on a cold ground, Joe, try to get your planning foot down. It makes you think. What is normally muscle memory goes away. Muscle memory does not exist anymore in that situation. You're just trying to get the ball up in the air. And that last kick by Will Lutz that was missed, went wide left, was blocked. Right, it was tipped, so the direction was altered. So you can't really fault him for that. It probably would have gone in. The trajectory looked like it was going to go in the right angle that he.
But at the same time, Mike, one thing that you have to take into account too is that both teams have to fight, right? They're for a right to kick a field goal. So you have to fight up the field, right? You got to push forward to get in field goal range, right? To kick a field goal. And they did that. But at the end of the day, they were playing in a full-on blizzard. And when the weather gets cold like that, the ball does weird things, dude. Both teams had trouble catching the ball. They were trying to run the ball. It seemed like the Pats weren't able to effectively run in the first half, but they were effectively able to run the ball a little bit in the second half and kind of wear down the Denver Broncos defense. And the other thing that attributed to the Pats winning was time of possession in the second half. They were dominant.
Stevenson got it going on the ground a little bit. How many drop passes were the Broncos going to have? Help a brother out, dude. I did not realize that the Broncos led the NFL in drop passes this past year. And Jarrett Stidham, backup quarterback, needs your help. Even from veterans like Cortland Sutton, needs your help. And I know not every pass was right on the money. A few of the passes were right at the letters, man, right at the numbers, and they were dropped. But a few of them could have just extended the drive, altered the change up the time of possession, kept a drive going. Like there was one that was about 18 yards downfield. Yeah, it was thrown a little bit behind, but it was very catchable, and it was dropped. And I would say I don't know the stats of the game or what counts as a drop and what doesn't count as a drop. Kind of like baseball, what's an error versus what's an actual hit. But I would say there were probably about 6 drops last night. There were about 6 Bronco drops, and all of them could have gone for a first down. That was brutal to watch last night. Stidham did a decent job out there. The Broncos defense got tired. They got worn out, is what it is. And the question that pops up is, do these coaches factor the weather? When they're doing their game plans, did they not realize, like, I can go onto my phone right now and see that in 3 hours it's going to be a certain weather. Right now it's 28 degrees in San Antonio, right? But I do know that on my iPhone it tells me it's going to be 37 3 hours from now.
Yeah.
Right? And you can tell when the rain's going to come in, when the snow's going to come in, if it's going to be sleeting. And it was almost as though Sean Payton was like, son of a crap, it's snowing. He got surprised by it all.
they shouldn't be surprised because what a lot of these NFL teams do that people fail to realize is that they both use AI quite a bit, right? When they're trying to strategize. So what happens is that AI will tell them you have to make so many plays in this quarter or what have you, or win the time of possession, or you have to move down the field within this time frame in order to have a higher probability of scoring, whether it be a field goal, whether it be a touchdown. You don't think that data that was spitting out to them told them your best chances of scoring a touchdown or getting let's say a field goal are going to be in that first half because
Right.
the weather is going to decline as the game wanders on. It's going to get worse and worse and worse. And even in that third quarter, you started seeing the snow come down. But near the end of the third, going into that fourth, man, it was a full on blizzard, dude. It
Oh,
was
I
night and
know.
day.
Yeah, that silent reporter saying from
Yeah.
this angle, I can't see.
Yeah.
Like there's so much snow, but from
Yeah.
this angle, I can see. And guess what? The Broncos were going into the storm, Joe.
Really, dude, they were.
And how important those 3 points were there, and then you see all those missed kicks and whatnot. You got to feel bad for the Broncos fans because they get the 1 seed, they get the bye, but you see Bo Nix go down with an injury, and the question then becomes if Bo Nix was quarterbacking, who wins that game? Because I would argue that Bo Nix is worth at least 3 points.
Maybe a tie going to OT,
At the very least, Joe. At the very least. And if you are going to go for it on fourth down, why are you doing that pass play? You can't get 3 feet?
That's stupid. That's going to haunt him, dude. Sean Payton was a dumbass for that. Dumbass.
Yeah, I mean, it was a testosterone call, Joe. That's all.
It's the days of going back to the Super Bowl, right? When we had the Seattle Seahawks in there, right? And what did they notoriously do against the Pats? They threw the ball. They passed it when you're right there at the goal line.
Yeah,
right?
You have the interception right there. That guy,
and you have Marshawn Lynch. Like give it to Marshawn and push your way in there and get us that touchdown and win the Super Bowl. They let it go on a pass.
They got cute. And Marshawn Lynch was back there as one of the best running backs at that time that year.
Yeah.
You're telling me he could have taken it in? He with multiple tries, he could have taken it in? No, and you get a little cute with the play calling, Joe, and Russ Wilson threw that interception. I look at this upcoming Super Bowl, Joe, and these are 2 really good franchises. The Patriots, for them to bounce back from Tom Brady leaving for Tampa Bay and then ultimately retiring, to them regrouping, getting that quarterback that they needed in Drake May, getting the coaching that they needed. Man, their coach was bounced by the Tennessee Titans 1 year later is in the Super Bowl. What a proud franchise. I even said this, Joe, and I wasn't trying to be a dick about it, Joe. But really, should the Patriots be considered America's team? They have the most Super Bowl appearances.
Absolutely not.
They have the most Super Bowl wins. And you look at it, we're Super Bowl 60. The last time the Cowboys were in it or even made a conference championship game was when it was 30. So half the era of the Super Bowl era, Cowboys have been not even involved in the conference championship type of thing. And I almost think that the term America's team needs to be handed around to various teams. Like maybe it was the Cowboys for a while. I think Cowboys legitimately were America's team for a while. And then maybe you could even argue the Steelers were too. Because this is all marketing that the NFL did. This was NFL films that called the Cowboys America's team. So it's not like the Cowboys trademarked it themselves and created themselves. And I look at it and I see the Patriots going on with the most number of Super Bowl victories, tied with the Steelers, the most appearances in the Super Bowl. It's one of those things where I look at it and I think to myself, it's kind of a mockery to say, oh, Dallas Cowboys are America's team. It's like, yeah, okay. And now I'm wondering, what is Jerry Jones going to do in the next 2 weeks? No, every Super Bowl week, Joe, he inserts himself into the limelight, right? Because he announces a firing and a hiring, which, by the way, the Cowboys got a new defensive coordinator on Thursday of last week, 34-year-old from the Eagles. And then the Eagles wanted to interview the Cowboys offensive coordinator, and the Cowboys were like, nah, crazy. But Jerry Jones will do something. He'll make some sort of announcement or whatever the case may be to kind of put himself in the mix, right? Because you can't have Super Bowl week without Jerry, Joe. You just can't. But in the NFC, Joe, Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah.
You have Rick Woolen, who formerly known as Tariq Woolen of UTSA, could become the first UTSA Roadrunner to ever win a Super Bowl ring. Now, the UTSA Roadrunners have had two players make it to the Super Bowl, most notably Spencer Burford of San Francisco, but they lost. They had another guy who played for Carolina. They lost, right? The one who played for Carolina never played on the football team for UTSA. He was on the UTSA's track team. But there have been two Roadrunners in the Super Bowl, both lost. Rick Woolen in line to become the first UTSA Roadrunner to ever win a Super Bowl ring. He almost blew it, Joe. I know that it was a great game. It was a scoreless fourth quarter. Seattle pulls it out at the end. I believe it was 31-27, something like that.
Yeah.
But Tariq Woolen could have been one of the most hated figures in Seattle had Seattle lost, because Seattle, up 2 scores, they stop the Rams on fourth down, and Tariq Woolen starts talking trash to the bench there of the Rams.
That was
official gets in the way and tells him to calm down. Go back to your bench. What does Tariq Woolen do? He keeps jawing at the bench to the point that he's almost at the white area, basically on their sideline.
Going out of bounds, yeah.
He got flagged for a 15-yard penalty. It extended the drive. Rams score a touchdown, get it within 4 points. Now, ultimately, it didn't matter. Now, Tariq Woolen isn't a nobody, dude. He was a Pro Bowler a few years ago. He's a very good player. But the fact of the matter is that you got to learn how to handle your emotions. And that trash talking is so arrogant, Joe. I mean, just get the stop. So 2 things about this, Joe, that was being debated on Twitter last night. Should that be an automatic first down? Or should it be something where it's like you're 1st and 25?
Yeah.
Because the argument is they got the stops, man. They got the stops on fourth down. They got the stop that they needed. Kind of like when you punt the ball to somebody and they catch the ball and there's a penalty on the receiving team, it's tacked on to the play. So, you move the yardage back. But in this sense here, the drive is over. The argument is, and I see the argument, Joe. The argument is, if the drive is over, well, maybe the drive's not over because there hasn't been a punt. I stand corrected. I had to talk this through in my own head.
You had to hit your reset button.
No. Well, how about this, Joe? If it's fourth down, because I think it was fourth down at that point.
4th and 1 or what?
It was 4th and something, and the drive ended. If the drive ends and there's no punt, Joe, like I can see if it was 3rd down and you got someone on 3rd down and they're about to punt the ball. Yeah. But if the drive is over because you've had 1st through 4, I don't know, Joe.
So here's the way that the game ended really is just Rams ran out of time. They ran out of time. Didn't really get out of bounds. It was the nalgas were in the end zone, not in the end zone, but right before you get out of bounds, right? He came down there and they marked him down there at that point in time. Game ends because they just ran out of time, I mean, but you have to have better play calling, right? If you're the Rams coach, Sean McVay, because the goal, right, is to go ahead and put some points on the board, right, to score. Like I said, they just seem to run out of time. They didn't have a lot of time to work with to begin with, I think it was like 30-something seconds that they had left, and they're like, well, maybe they can get a couple plays in, and they tried, they did their best, but it was just not meant to be, and unfortunately, when they had chances to capitalize, they weren't able to do that. I think that's what was frustrating to Sean McVay after the game when he was addressing the media. He was at a loss for words, didn't really know what to say, Mike. Right. Just felt deflated, probably upset and angry. And you could tell he was mad at himself. At the end of the day, he was mad at himself.
Yeah. Well, he was, and all the right to be at that, because it's an embarrassment. I'm looking at the Turek Woolen situation. It was 3rd and 12, so they hadn't punted
3rd
yet.
and 12. Yeah.
So 15-yard penalty extended the drive. So I guess it is what it is when it comes to all that, man. But again, we have the Seattle Seahawks who have Sam Darnold, who, by the way, nobody wanted as their quarterback. Think about this, man.
Yeah.
The Minnesota Vikings went 14-3 and made the playoffs.
Yeah, they said no.
They said nah. They offered him a 1-year deal, whereas the Seahawks offered him 3 years, $100 million. Think about that, Joe. The Super Bowl team for the NFC has a quarterback making $33 million a year.
No. Somebody had said in here, has a ginger quarterback ever won the Super Bowl?
Do you consider Boomer Esiason ginger?
I don't know, dude. Is he?
It's close. Kind of like a strawberry blonde type of thing. I'm looking at this interesting stat here, Joe, that says 5 schools have produced a U.S. president and a Super Bowl winning quarterback.
Who are they?
Delaware, most recently.
All right.
Joe Biden, Joe Flacco. Okay. Miami of Ohio.
Yeah.
Benjamin Harrison, Ben Roethlisberger. Michigan Wolverines, Gerald Ford, Tom Brady. Okay. Stanford, Herbert Hoover, and 2 quarterbacks, Jim Plunkett and John Elway. And the Naval Academy, Jimmy Carter, Roger Staubach.
Oh, man. Rip to Jimmy Carter, the peanut farmer, man.
Drake May, if he wins, would have UNC North Carolina become the 6th school because James K. Polk was president of the United States at one point in the 1800s, and Drake May would be the quarterback to complement it. And then people are going on a little bit further on saying Miami of Ohio is also kind of weird because they have 3 – Miami of Ohio, small school, right?
Yeah.
They have Harrison and Big Ben. They have 3 coaches that have won the Super Bowl.
Jeez, man.
3 head coaches.
Check out this too, because I believe it was Matt Gomez. He had sent this out in the media share. So look at what this says. It says basically that every time a pope is elected in the Vatican, right? 5, 05, 13, and 2025, the Seahawks reached the Super Bowl in the ensuing season. And that actually happened now, So it goes to show you, if you're looking at this kind of history here, the omen, the Seahawks reached the Super Bowl after they name a new pope over at the Vatican. So thanks, Matt. Appreciate it, man.
That is interesting. Joe, go on to my Twitter account, Joe.
Yeah.
There's an animation that the NFL sent out in September previewing the NFL season, right? And the Haters Report took it and zoomed in on it. And this was legit, Joe. I saw the original post. It was from the first week of September by NFL.com.
Oh, I see it.
Did they know the script? Did they leak the script early on? Because it shows all these players, and it shows the Super Bowl in Santa Clara, and it shows all these players making their way towards the Super Bowl. Who's at the very top of who's at the very end, Joe? At the very end of this, you see Saquon Barkley and Brock Purdy and Patrick Mahomes and J.J. Watt, Dak Prescott, and all that stuff. If you can pause it towards the end.
Right there.
At the very top of the screen, that's Sam Darnold and Drake May in front of the line to get the Super Bowl.
They leaked the script on themselves.
That is crazy, man. That is insane.
God, dude. Look at where they have Prescott, dude.
Way in the back.
Way in the back. by Tua.
God, right next to Bijan Robinson. By the way, all three teams with 7 wins this year.
Jesus, man.
Sam Salina says that's some X-Files crap right there.
Right? Should we play the music, Mike? Is that what it is? We're gonna play the music.
That is funny, God. Man.
That's a good conspiracy theory for the day, right?
Yeah. On our chat, which is powered by PF Chang's Like that at Hard Rock Cafe San Antonio, saying Matt Gomez saying bet on the Seahawks. Seahawks open up as 4.5-point favorites, Joe. That is big for a Super Bowl. 4.5 points, Joe. That is Vegas saying that they don't think that Seattle is just better than the Patriots, but that they're a lot better. That is Vegas saying that if they played in New England, Seattle would still be favored by 1.5 points.
Yeah.
Then if they played in Seattle, Seattle would be favored by 7.5 points at home.
I've been able to call a lot of these playoff games.
Nostradamus.
And I've been dead on, dude. And even Mike yesterday, Alex and Sean were both saying Joe Stradamus strikes again because they go, who's going to win this game, Joe? I said the Pats are going to win this game against the Broncos. And then they said, who do you got with Seattle? And the Rams I got Seattle moving on. So it's going to be the Pats and the Seahawks in the Super Bowl. And sure enough, everything happened just like I said. And then they're saying, well, who do you got to win the Super Bowl? Is it going to be the Pats or is it going to be the Seahawks? And I told him, I got the Pats winning it all. I'm going to stand by that. I'm going to go with it.
You're being stubborn. Okay, bro. Double or nothing on our $20 bet, Joe. Double or nothing on that $20 bet.
I'm standing by the Pats. I'm gonna die on that hill.
You know, it's interesting because I don't doubt that the Pats can win this game. I 4.5 points. It's one game, Joe. All you need to turn over two, and it changes things. And you have to ask the question: who's better, Drake May or Sam Darnold? Well, the media would tell you that it's Drake May because Drake May is an MVP candidate, but Darnold yesterday was nearly perfect, Joe. No. He had like a 128 passer rating. So let's not pretend like Sam Darnold sucks. He did get 14 wins in a regular season.
I didn't say he did. Yeah.
I mean, Sam Darnold. I mean, let's look at that 2018 draft class, Joe. That 2018 draft class, where does he rank among these players? 2018 NFL draft class, right? Draft QBs, okay? 2018. Baker Mayfield went number 1 overall. Sam Darnold went number 3 overall to the Jets. Was considered to be a bust. Josh Allen, 7 to the Bills. Josh Rosen, truly a bust, number 10 to the Cardinals. And Lamar Jackson with the last pick in the first round at number 32. Obviously, he's won multiple MVPs. But Sam Darnold, Joe, has turned his career around no different than Baker Mayfield, but he's making it to the Super Bowl. But Darnold yesterday, over 300 yards passing, 3 touchdowns. This year for the season, more than 4,000 yards thrown, 25 touchdowns. He did have 14 interceptions, Joe, so he is prone to throwing the interception. But you look at what he's been doing over the past couple of years as a starter, he's legit, Joe. His last 2 years, Joe, as a starter, 28-6 record. I mean, how many quarterbacks in NFL history have gone 28-6 in a 2-year stretch? What, Mahomes? Brady?
I get all that. And you look at the Seattle Seahawks, right? And they've had the harder path, right? The tougher path to the Super Bowl. Pats, they're like, well, who did they play in the regular season? Nobody. They had an easy road to the Super Bowl. And then they didn't really play anybody of merit in the playoffs. They played the Broncos. And they beat them straight up.
With a backup quarterback.
With a backup quarterback. And you can keep on going. And people can keep spinning the narrative all they want to about the Pats. But even before the season started, I went on record and said, that's my dark horse team. Watch out for the Pats. I told everybody.
This is going to be reminiscent. The Super Bowl. This is going to be reminiscent of when the Notre Dame Fighting Irish make a run in the playoffs next year. Because if you look at Notre Dame's schedule, they got nobody they're playing, right? I mean, New England's Patriots schedule was sponsored by Keith Sweat. Because who did they play this year? Nobody. They played nobody this year. But they made their way into the playoffs. They got the 2 seed. They beat the 1 seed. They beat the Denver Broncos 10-7. Wow. Why the Broncos only score 7 points? Because they had a backup quarterback who hadn't played in 2 years, Joe.
It wasn't because the Pats played a good game against the Broncos too.
It's because
time of possession in that second half
would have won that game, Joe. Bo Nix is worth at least 3
second
points
half
in that
adjustments,
game.
Mike. The Pats made them, dude.
Adjustments
time of possession they wanted in that second half.
A guy who doesn't play? You make it
doesn't matter. They did a great
does matter,
scheme.
Joe.
They did a good scheme because if the Broncos were better than the Pats, they would have won, but they didn't.
If Drake May was not playing for the Patriots yesterday, would the Patriots have won? See, your argument unraveled right there. Your argument unraveled right there.
Pats have made better second half adjustments, man.
Tell us what you think on our chat powered by Pia Cheng's La Cantera and Hard Rock Cafe. Would the Patriots have won last night if Drake May was out? Matt Gomes is already on our chat saying, fight, fight, fight. I like it, Joe.
I'm telling you, man. When it comes to football, Mike, no, bro. You ain't got that magic, bro, when it comes to calling your winners, man. Every time you try to pick a team to win, they lose.
Well, but I did get you tried calling me yesterday, and you
I
were hopped
told
up
you,
on.
you're like, no, I bet the under. I'm like, all right, whatever, Mike.
You were hopped up on Mountain Dew and whatever booze you were drinking last night when you called me. Okay,
I wasn't even
and
drunk when
you
I
were like
called you. I was
you were
eating
trying
food.
to throw it on me. You predicted the Broncos to win.
You said the Broncos were going to win. You said the Broncos were going to win, and you're going to take the over. Or was it the under? One of the two.
Check the tape. Check the tape.
You said, I'm taking the under.
I said the only bet that I'm comfortable with in this game is what? The under. And I said, not only do I say you bet the under, you bet the under hard. That there was no way in the world in the snow, those two teams, number 1 and 2 defense of the AFC, that there was no way with a backup quarterback with Denver, there was no way that they were going to score 43.5 points. And guess what, Joe? They didn't even get halfway there. It got to 17.
Yeah. I'll tell you
So
what, though, Mike.
That was a play of the week. And Alex knows he was behind you. He was literally in the room with you going, no, Jimenez did say that.
Yeah, but I tell you what, one thing that you can do when it comes to your NFL analyst skills is you can pick a loser, bro.
All right, then I'm going.
Every time you say a team's gonna win, they do the opposite, dude.
Then I'm going for the Patriots. I'm going for America's team, the New England Patriots. Is what I'm doing there, Joe.
No, man, you go ahead and root for the Seahawks, bro.
No, I'm rooting for the Seahawks because I want to see Tarek Woolen win. I want to see a UTSA alum win a Super Bowl ring for the first time ever. That's what I want to see. And I'm usually an AFC guy, and it's not any hatred towards the Patriots. I hated the Tom Brady Patriots. It was just too much, man. It was too much greatness. It was a little bit annoying and frustrating to watch. I mean, if you look at it, Joe, in the last 10 years, last 11 years in the AFC has been represented by either the Chiefs or the Patriots 10 out of 11 years. The one year that it wasn't was when the Bengals lost in the Super Bowl, Joe Burrow's rookie year. But this is a different type of Patriots team. There's no Belichick. You have Vrabel. There's no Brady. You have Drake May. It's a different thing. So I wouldn't be upset if New England won. I'm not a fan of the Patriots, but if they won, I'd be okay with it. It's a different era, right? It's like the Wemby era versus the Duncan era. It's two different things, right? We'll get to Spurs talk in a moment, by the way. So those of you who are wanting that, hang on. But the superior team is the Seahawks, but that doesn't mean the Seahawks are going to win. Joe, you might be right on that. But they are the superior team. Vegas has them as 4.5-point spread. Are you surprised that it's that big? Because 4.5 points, Joe, is kind of wide.
I'm surprised it's that big, but when I look at the Seahawks and I look at the Pats, and they're going to be playing on a level field, right? Really, there's no advantage there. I got to look and see which team I'm going to go with based on what I've seen throughout the season, and I got to say, just looking at both teams, I mean, the Seahawks are a very good team. Don't get me wrong. They have a really good defense. They play really hard-nosed physical football. That's been their mantra for a long time, even with Carroll as their coach. And then you're looking at the Pats, and they're coming into their own. They got Drake May. At the end of the day, I just think that the Pats have a well-balanced team, and I think that can play a factor as well. Their defense does enough. It's not near as good as the Seahawks, but their offense is also good as well. So it's going to be a very, I think, close game. And you're going to take the 4.5. That's basically what you're saying, is that the game's going to be won by a field goal, basically.
Well, I mean, 4.5 points is a lot to give up.
Yeah.
And if I'm betting this game, I'm betting New England. I still think Seattle's going to win, but I'm betting that it's going to be a 31-27 game like last night. It's going to be a game where it's going to be close. And if you believe it's going to be a close game, you take the points. Giving up 4.5 points to that New England team is difficult, man. It really is. And we don't know what the weather's going to be like. I know Santa Clara is a nice part of the country.
Yeah.
But it's also outdoors. You never know if rain's going to be a factor in it. It is still winter over there in California, believe it or not. Parts of California do get rain, so it'll be interesting to see if that happens. Yeah. What Seattle has, arguably, is the most dynamic player of the Super Bowl, which is Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Yeah.
We talk about all these Puka Nakuas of the world and CeeDee Lambs of the world. You could make the argument that the best wide receiver in all of football right now is Jackson Smith-Njigba, and it has been for the past year and a half. Last night, he went off for 9 catches for, let's see here, Sam Darnold, 346 yards passing, 3 touchdowns. Jackson Smith-Njigba, 10 catches, 153 yards, and a touchdown. And then you have on the other side a big playmaker. I know he only got 1 reception yesterday, but they got him from the New Orleans Saints. The New Orleans Saints were just giving their players away halfway through the season. They gave away Rashid Shaheed, who has been the big playmaker potential for the Seahawks, has also been returning punts and kickoff returns. Shaheed with 1 reception for 51 yards. So you have a home run hitter in Rashid Shaheed. You have the underneath guy that could do everything, a top 5 receiver in Jackson Smith-Njigba. And I know that the Patriots have some offensive weapons and whatnot, but I just think the better weapons are with Seattle. Seattle has a defense that's just as good as New England's, but has a better repertoire of players, from Kenneth Walker to even Cooper Kupp getting 4 receptions and a touchdown yesterday.
I just think they have more weapons. Man? At the end of the day, you can draw comparisons to what the Pats are doing right now and compare them to what the Spurs have done in years past, right? When they went on to get to their, to win championships. They're like, well, who have the Spurs played, or who are these San Antonio Spurs? And they had all these questions about the San Antonio Spurs, even after they won the 99 chip, right? With David Robinson, Tim Duncan. You had, what's his name? Avery Johnson on the team. Mm-hmm. And you're going into the era of the big 3. And there was a lot of question marks about the Spurs. Oh, are they this good of a team? And who have they really beat? Blah, 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 blah. But they're still there. They were still there in the championships. And the thing is you have to be able to beat the team who's in front of you. You don't make the schedules. You just beat the team that's in front of you. And if you win enough, you get to the big dance. And I think this is what's going on with the Pats. They have a lot of things that they say about them. Oh, they're not very good of a team because they haven't really beat anybody. They beat an injured Denver Broncos team, and they can say all these things about them. But if they go on to win the Super Bowl, what does that tell you? They're the best team in the NFL. You just beat who's in front of you.
Well, this is the first time in a while that you've had a Super Bowl where you can make that argument. Where definitively these are the 2 best teams in the NFL. I believe that if you ran the scenarios again, Seattle would come out 7 out of 10 times in the NFC, and the Patriots would come out 7 out of 10 times in the AFC. These are the 2 best teams. So we're being treated to the 2 best. The Seattle Seahawks haven't lost a game since November 19th. I mean, they are on fire, Joe. And they have beaten some very good teams along the way. We joke about who have the Patriots beaten. I'm looking at the Patriots schedule right now. They beat Miami twice. They beat Carolina when Carolina sucked. They beat New Orleans. They beat Tennessee. They beat Cleveland. They beat Atlanta. They beat Tampa Bay. They beat the Jets. They beat the Bengals. They beat the Giants. They beat the Ravens when they didn't. When they were. These are all losing teams. They beat the Jets. They beat the Dolphins again. Joe, they've only beaten the only team that they've beaten this year that had a winning record that I saw in the regular season was Buffalo. Yeah. I know you beat who's in front of you, Joe. And they should not be faulted for playing Herbert, who's one of the most overrated quarterbacks of all time, CJ Stroud, who sucks ass, and then a backup quarterback. I mean, it's usually whenever you see somebody say that someone had an easy path through the playoffs, it's haterade. But you look at that schedule, Joe. There are probably about 4 other teams who could have made that path through it all. They beat, but you look at Seattle. Who has Seattle beaten this year? Well, Seattle beat Pittsburgh, right? Seattle beat Houston. They beat Jacksonville. They beat the Rams in the playoffs. They beat the Rams in the regular season. They beat San Francisco twice. I mean, they've beaten good teams, not only in the playoffs, but they've beaten good teams in the regular season. The better team is Seattle, but anything can happen. And now I look. We're going to do money line or we're going to do spread?
Let's do money line, dude. I don't like the spread. Just do straight up money line, bro. Just be ballsy and say this is the team I'm picking to win.
You're gonna say it with your chest out, Joe. What you're saying?
Yeah, dude. Just say it with your chest out. You're gonna pick your winner. Pick your fighter. I already picked the Pats.
Very nice. Let's show some love to PF Chang's La Cantera. They sponsor our show. They power our chat. On the other side, we're talking about the NBA. Spurs potential trade target by the New York Knicks. A report about that coming up on Twitter and on Yahoo Sports. And then also the Spurs lost a brutal game last night to the New Orleans Pelicans. An embarrassing loss at the Frost Bank Center. Here's some love to PF Chang's.
PF Chang's La Cantera, San Antonio's premier destination for dinner, date night, or happy hour. Enjoy one of their signature dishes, such as the Singapore street noodles, sesame chicken, or Chang's spicy chicken, or their infamous Chang's chicken lettuce wraps, which are delicious, by the way. You can enjoy all this while you're dining in an Asian-inspired atmosphere. And make sure to enjoy the new outdoor patio and try some of PF Chang's signature cocktails and drinks during happy hour, Monday through Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. PF Chang's La Cantera is a proud sponsor of the Area 210 podcast.
That's right. Lunchtime is starting right now over at PF Chang's La Cantera. Go over there for your Asian cuisine. You can stop and get a drink. Probably too cold to be on the outside patio, but just go in the bar. They have those $8.99 cocktails going on right now. The Jade Margarita, the Mule. You got the Lychee Martini, the Lemon Drop Martini. Joe, the Long Island iced teas, what I'm going to need after I lose that second bet to you. But that $8.99 cocktail collection is open to close for a limited time. And then on Wednesdays, it's half off bottles of champagne, half off bottles of
wine.
What do we call that, Joe? Wednesday. That's right.
You know, I just got talking to Sean yesterday, and Sean was telling me some insider news. PF Chang's going to be coming out with 3 new signature old fashions.
Wow.
He's telling me what they are. So I'm like, damn, they sounded really good, dude. So I'm interested.
Old fashions now coming up.
I'm going to go. Yeah. So I'm interested in trying some of those, you know, because my favorite has always been the Japanese old fashioned of PF Chang's, but now they got 3 new ones that are going to be coming up. So we got to try those out.
Use the word insider. That's a bad phrase in my world, right? Because I do investments, right? You're not supposed to have inside information. I was telling a story this weekend about a few years ago when I went to Radio Row I think this was the one in Phoenix. And I went to the Ditka Jaws party, which is the Mike Ditka, Ron Jaworski party.
Yeah.
And while I was there, this one guy was all drunk. It's cocktails, open bar, all that stuff. And it's all a bunch of reporters and a bunch of athletes and former athletes all getting together, right? And this one guy comes up to me and he introduces himself and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'll tell you what I do, man. I work on the Super Bowl halftime show." And I joked, "Hey, what's the opening song?" Because the opening song, you can bet on that, right? He told me the opening song, Joe. And I thought he was full of crap. I just kind of disregarded it, Joe. Watching the Super Bowl and seeing that was the first song that was being played that night, I realized I could have made so much money online with that bet because gambling was legal in Arizona, but I didn't make the play, Joe. I didn't make the play. He had that insider information. I didn't take advantage of it. That's kind of funny.
We gotta also give some love to Greg here because Greg gave us a 99-cent super chat to start off the show, man. I appreciate you.
What's going on, Greg? Hey, very nice.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Thank you for the support. Jordan saying tall tale time. Nice. Hand of a fist coming up with the cap. Yeah. It happened.
Oh man, me and Rick had a wild show on Friday because we're talking about Valentine's Day coming out, right? Mm-hmm. So everybody in the chat remembers this. And Rick had like one of the best catchphrases the show's ever had, right? Because we're talking about what are you gonna get your wife? Do you have a Sancha? What's Sancha, side chicks day when it comes to Valentine's Day? And Rick says, make sure you get a girlfriend who respects your wife. And he said the official side chicks day is the day after Valentine's Day.
No,
actually, the 15th.
Actually, I've seen on social media that's actually March 14th.
March 14th. Well, he says it's February 15th because he says Side Chicks Day is February 15th because that's when you can get her clearance flowers and It was funny, dude. We're just having fun. Oh, you need to
Very
go back and
nice.
watch that show. It was a lot of laughs on Friday, dude. But let's get into this Spurs talk, man. What's
Yeah,
wrong
we're
with the
10
Spurs,
we're
Mike?
10 days away from um the NBA trade deadline, which is February 5th. And what's wrong with the Spurs is the fact that they don't have consistent shooters. And we're beating a dead horse talking about it, Joe. That Castle can't shoot, Fox can't shoot, Harper can't shoot. But the weird thing about it is, Joe, is that they cannot shoot consistently, right? So you have to take advantage of what happens inconsistently, which is every once in a while somebody catches fire, right? And I like to scream from the stands, the rim's the size of a hula hoop. It's just it looks big and shots are going in, and you always ride the hot hand. Against the Rockets, when I went to that game last week, Champagne had 27 points in the first half. What did they do? They sat his ass in the third quarter. He came out cold in the fourth. Spurs lost that game. They did not ride the hot hand. Last night, what did we see? We saw Dylan Harper and Carter Bryant, of all people, the rookies, bring the Spurs back. Spurs down 16 points in the fourth quarter. Bring them back, take the lead. The Spurs then brought in their starters, and the starters wet the bed. Most in particular, Stephon Castle, rookie of the year from last year.
You want to see how bad it was, Mike? I'm going to go ahead and share the graphic, dude, so you can see how bad the starters were for the San Antonio Spurs in last night's game. Look at this. When you're looking at your plus minus across the board,
right?
What are you seeing here, dude?
Yeah, well, you're saying it right there. Stephon Castle yesterday had a plus minus yesterday of minus 19. Dylan Harper, Joe, positive 18. So when Castle was point guard for the team or in the backcourt for the Spurs, they 19 points outscored. But when Harper was in the lineup, the Spurs were outscoring their opponent by 18 points. Again, why did they come back? It's because they had Harper running the offense. And I know that Carter Bryant had a positive +5, but there was a lineup that was working, Joe. And it's not like these guys are old and have to be load managed. It's not like these guys need to be seated. They're young. They're 20, 21 years old. They can finish the game, Joe. They can finish the game. And it got me thinking last night, Joe, because I got frustrated with this.
Yeah.
By the way, welcome back to the team, Devin Vassell. It got me thinking, someone needs to get it to Mitch Johnson's head that there's only one player on this team that deserves minutes every game, and that's Victor Wembanyama. Victor Wembanyama gets his 30 minutes, whether he's cold, hot, somewhere in between, he gets to have his minutes. But I'm sorry, Barnes, Champagnie, Fox, Castle, Bryant, Harper, Keldon, Vassell, Cornette should only play with Joe if they're feeling it. And I think that they try to get cute with the minutes. Well, like everyone's going to play 20 minutes or so, like it's a middle school basketball team where these guys get 25 minutes, these guys get 30, these guys get 20, and that's it, right? No, Joe. Whoever's hot, who's ever feeling it, you ride that bull until it bucks you off. Yeah. And that's what they're doing, Joe. Dude, look at this team, Joe. It's so weird to think that they're the second best team in the Western Conference still. But Barnes, Joe, he got old fast. I told you last week that when Chica and I went to go see the Spurs play the Rockets, Harrison Barnes caused 3 turnovers that didn't get attributed to him because he couldn't bend over to pick up the damn ball. Champagnie, you never know what you're going to get with him. Champagnie's either throbbing or is sucking, dude. One of the two. De'Aaron Fox has a very inconsistent shot. Stephon Castle, you cannot trust him outside 12 feet. Carter Bryant, he's a great slasher. He gets wobbly leg from outside. Dylan Harper, I don't want him to shoot outside 15 feet ever again, but he could run the offense. Keldon Johnson has been consistent this year. Kind of cold the past few games. And then Cornette, Cornette's consistent, though. You know what you're going to get with Cornette. Vassell's back in the lineup. Played 25 minutes yesterday. Had 13 points on 2 of 5 shooting from 3, which is not bad.
You know what I was going to say, man? Beyond what you're seeing here from the players and how they play out there on the court, The real reason that they're playing this bad is that the Spurs have been found out. And lesser teams like the Pelicans have figured out something. And it shows right here on the stat sheet, and everybody can see it for themselves. When you're looking to see points in the paint, Spurs only had 32 compared to the Pelicans, who had 56 points in the paint.
Don't
What
we have
does
a
that tell?
Don't we have a 7'5" guy on the roster?
Yeah, exactly. But what does it tell you? I mean, at the end of the day, that statistic that I just showed, I'm going to show it again on the screen. It tells you one thing. And Mitch Johnson has been saying it as of late. And he says it without saying it. He's calling the Spurs soft.
Right.
And they are. They're soft. When a team goes and really gets up in them, right? And they start pressuring them, they start raising the level of physicality against them, they wind up folding. And this is the same thing that happened to him, especially in that fourth quarter where the Spurs and the Pelicans were going back and forth. And you're like, Mira, look at the Spurs. Are they going to make a comeback? Are they going to be able to cut into that 20-point lead and, have one of the biggest, turnarounds as far as beating that deficit, right? That double digit deficit and winning the game. And the problem is they just did not, because what happened is as soon as they started getting close and the game was tied, then the Pelicans started raising the level of physicality. The Spurs, their shots just weren't falling, and they were settling again for shooting threes. Why they keep doing that is beyond me. It's stupid basketball. It's poor shot clock management. It's a wasted possession. You're not getting the ball to the guy that can go ahead and get you the best looking shot possible. You can win the game by shooting a 2 as easily as you can by a 3, and just watching the team unravel and come apart because they can't knock down threes because they're not very good from shooting beyond the arc. It's just disheartening to watch as a Spurs fan, because if this continues and they get into the playoffs, they're going to be one and done. That's it.
The other stat to look at, if you could scroll up on that stat sheet, Joe, the free throws last night. The Spurs shot from the free throw line 19 of 32 for 59%. Wemby missing back-to-back. There was 4 free throws missing in a row down the stretch when the Spurs were trying to cling on to that game. There's no way in the world the Spurs should be losing at home to the worst team in the West by 20 points in the third quarter. And I know people are like, oh, well, when the hand of a fist on our chat saying Spurs win, it's crickets from the host. Well, when the Spurs win, they play better. They shoot better.
What are you going to say? Yeah, they win a game, they win a game.
What are you going to say? But the idea that the Spurs are shooting 44 3-pointers, Joe, when they are craptacular at 3-point shooting, is stupid. It's lazy.
Look at how many they knocked down. 12 of 44. That just shows me one thing, and you all can see it too. I'm not the only one that sees it. What the Spurs do is they try to get cute with that basketball, because what they're trying to do when they shoot these ill-advised threes that are really early into the shot clock, and we've seen them all do it, all the starters do it. They're trying to beat the defense. And they're like, you know what? Nobody's set. I'm going to take a 3. And whether it goes in or not, I'm going to shoot the 3. And that's stupid. You don't settle for those types of plays. If you're not feeling it, it's not really in transition. You're coming up the court and the opposing team's defense isn't set, and you're trying to shoot a 3 even though they're not falling down. How's that helping your team? It's not. You need to get the best quality possession possible. And the Spurs, when they were beating teams like the Oklahoma City Thunder, you looked at this team and you're like, man, we're kind of seeing a little flash of the beautiful game. Look at the passing around the horn. Look at how they're playing in the interior. All that has gone out the window. It's like now they're just a bunch of dudes.
There are 30 teams in the NBA, Joe. I'm looking at stats on NBA.com. The Spurs are the 23rd best team in 3-point shooting at 34.8% on the season. The only teams that the Spurs are better than at 3-point shooting are the Mavericks, who suck, the Brooklyn Nets, who suck, the Raptors, the Pacers, the Pelicans, the Magic, and the Trailblazers. That's ridiculous, Joe. We're 1% off. The lowest percentage is 33.8. We're 1% off from being the worst shooting 3-point team in the NBA. And the Spurs shot 50 against the Rockets, and they shot 44 against the Pelicans.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the point? Because if your 3-point shooting is 34.8%,
yeah,
the effective field goal shooting of that, Joe, is just under 52%. I mean, the mid-range jumper is going to get you the exact same EFG. It makes no sense. And then you see on the other side of the court a player that the Spurs should covet that the Spurs probably won't make a move for. Why? Because everyone's in love with Castle. Everyone's in love with Harper. What this has shown, Joe, is that none of these players should be considered untouchable. Only Wemby.
Yeah, it's kind of showing you too what happens. Who's the best fit running the team. And that's going to be Dylan Harper, man. As far as point guards go. Castle's a complimentary piece, but he shouldn't have the ball in his hand and facilitate the offense. That should be left up to Harper. Or if you're not going to go ahead and put the ball in Harper's hands and you want to go ahead and have somebody else facilitate the ball and run the offense, that should be De'Aaron Fox. That should not be Stephon Castle. He's a complimentary piece, somebody who can create his own shot, very, quick, athletic, can get to the rim at ease. That's great, but he shouldn't be your point guard. He shouldn't be your PG1.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, it's easy for us to say just ride the hot hand because that just kind of makes sense to
it's
us.
Not even riding the hot hand. It's like who makes a better decision with the ball, and that's not going to be Castle.
But on a game-to-game basis, dude, if you have somebody going off, you have somebody going off. I mean, you don't take a hot hitter out of the lineup in baseball. Why are you taking a hot shooter out of the lineup in basketball? So the thing is, Joe, is that when the Spurs gave that lead back to the starting five, our starting five is better than their starting five. It should be. We're the 2 seed in the West.
Yeah.
Right? Why is it that Fox is inconsistent? How is he, as a veteran, so inconsistent what he does? I'm not. Okay, and the argument that I have here, John Dyer and I were going back and forth on this on Twitter last night. I'm not part of the 82-0 crowd. Mm-hmm. I understand that the Spurs are not going to win every single game. Okay? Yeah, some people who argue that on social media, they're like the 82-0 crowd. They're stupid. The we should win every. They're stupid. They're stupid because they believe that the Spurs should win every other game as though the other team doesn't have professional players. You're gonna win some, you're gonna lose some. I get that. What I get upset about is the unforced errors, like in tennis, the unforced errors of the sport, which is missed free throws. The unforced error is taking the hot guy out of the game. That's my main concern, because if you have bad 3-point shooters, you got to keep the ones in there that are feeling it that night. Why? So we can see Carter Bryant wobbly legs like a deer in headlights trying to shoot a 3-pointer. Why we could? I mean, what kind of shot putt is Stephon Castle throwing out there? He has awful 3-point shooting for him. Do you know who has better 3-point shooting for him than these guys? Sohan, who happens to be potentially on the trade block. On the other side, we're going to give some love to Hard Rock Cafe San Antonio. We're going to talk about the latest rumors involving Jeremy Sohan from a credible source when it comes to it all. We'll talk about on the other side. Let's give some love to our friends over at Hard Rock Cafe San Antonio.
The Hard Rock Cafe San Antonio is Riverwalk dining at its best. With great scenic views along with its amazing collection of rock memorabilia, there is something for everyone. Enjoy happy hour weekdays from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. with $8 and $10 appetizers, $5 domestic drafts, and $6 craft import drafts at the bar only. Try some of the Hard Rock Cafe's legendary steak burgers, or my personal favorite, such as the grilled salmon or baby back ribs. Make sure to visit the third level and enjoy the DJ as you take in the city skyline. The Hard Rock Cafe is a proud sponsor of the Area 210 podcast.
That's right, Hard Rock Cafe San Antonio. Go check them out. They have lots of memorabilia out there. It's fun, dude. I love going to Hard Rock Cafe, dude. I'm a big fan of that. That environment, the music. I remember back in the day going to Hard Rock Cafe San Antonio, and they had the Heart of Rock and Roll by Huey Lewis and the News on. New York isn't everything they say, and no place I'd rather be. And they're going through all the different cities, Boston, Oklahoma City, Seattle, and San Francisco too. Yeah. They get to the part where they say San Antonio or San Antone. Dude, everybody in the waitstaffs just yelled it. It was so great. San Antone and the Liberty Town, Boston and Baton Rouge. Anyway, how I still know the lyrics of that song, I don't know. But again, the Area 210 podcast is powered by the Hard Rock Cafe San Antonio. Go check them out. They have lots of new things that they got going on over there. Cocktails, food, great for date night. Go check it out. Very nice. We're going to have some events over there for the NBA and the NFL drafts. One is going
Yeah,
to be in April. The other one's going to be
I,
in June.
yeah. I think we're gonna have one too coming up here in February. We're gonna have we're supposed to do like a watch party there for the Spurs because of the
Yeah.
road trip. So we'll try to figure that out.
And as Greg says, the baby back ribs, delicious, by the way.
They are, man. I gotta put it in there, dude. I gotta do it. But you know what? Those are my favorite dishes over there, the Hard Rock. I like the baby back ribs and I like the salmon, dude. The salmon's
Yeah.
good. That's just my thing. I just say it.
Very, very cool, Joe. Very, very cool. Hey, so I believe the name is Brett Siegel. I do follow him on Twitter, NBA Insider. He's with Clutch Points, legit organization. Coming out and saying that the Spurs are getting phone calls about Jeremy Sohan, in particular from the New York Knicks. So Brett Siegel says the Knicks are in discussion with the Spurs about Jeremy Sohan and that they've had lengthy conversations with the team about it. They're trying to dangle Yesbule to the Spurs, who is Wemby's teammate for Team France. But he sucks, Joe. He was good back in the day. The Dancing Bear was good back in the day, but not anymore. That's what they call him. That's what they call him.
Oh, God.
So Brett Siegel says sources the Knicks have been very active over the last week in trade discussions involving Yesbule with the Spurs and Pelicans. Again, part of them is they're trying to get Jeremy Sohan. Jeremy Sohan. Apparently, the Spurs are not interested in getting rid of Jeremy Sohan for what is being offered. But Siegel's saying that the Spurs are still potentially getting rid of Sohan. What do you get for him, Joe? I mean, he's a restricted free agent at the end of the year. He's underperformed. He doesn't fit. Well, he doesn't have to be a rental, Joe, because if he gets traded to another team, that other team reserves his restricted free agency status. So they can still keep him if they wanted to. I know Yabusele, whatever. It's all the same. It's all the same.
The Dancing Bear.
Be Antoine Carr. I always forget that guy's name, dude. But I remember watching him in Team France. He looked good in FIBA ball. But FIBA basketball and NBA basketball are two different things, Joe.
You know who they used to? Sean Elliott gave a Spur that nickname, the Dancing Bear. It was DeJuan Blair. And I remember that. That was one of Sean's worst takes, dude. I'm watching the game, and they have DeJuan Blair out there. I think he was playing against the Mavericks. And he does this little move. And then Sean Elliott goes, "Oh, look at that. DeJuan Blair, the Dancing Bear." I'm like, that's so stupid, dude.
You know what's so stupid? Mr. 100.
No,
Harrison Barnes.
Man. The Toyota Corolla needs to be traded in. You know what's funny? I was talking with Jen yesterday, Alex's wife. And she was like, I said, man, the Toyota Corolla needs to be traded in. She goes, it does need to be traded in. And she's like, I had a Toyota Corolla. And she gave it to her daughter, right? She goes, but the Toyota Corolla didn't even have like 100,000 miles on it. It already needed a new transmission. She goes, trade that Corolla in. I thought that was funny, dude. I was like, yeah, trade the Corolla, bro. The mileage he just isn't what he used to be. Like, he can't take him for long drives no more, Mike. He's not going to make it from here to Houston.
I'm looking at Harrison Barnes' stats, by the way. Last 10 games, he scored 5, 2, 6, 10, 8, 6, 2, 13, 6, 7, Joe. Last 10 games, he has scored in single digits 8 out of the 10 times, while averaging over 25 minutes per game in that time. That's the definition of he now sucks. That's big enough of a sample size, Joe.
That's a decline right there. You got to say, you know what, bro? Mitch needs to take him into the office and be like, you know what? You ain't coming up. You're coming off the bench. It's time. You know, it's
time. What's sad in those 10 games, Joe? Do you know how many times he's been to the free throw line?
How many?
9. Like 9 shots, not 9 times. 9 shots. He has 9 free throw attempts in 10 games.
And what happened with Wemby too, bro? Like, I'm waiting for the Wembeyazo, you know, the guy that's going to take over games, the generational talent that I've been told that he is. And right now, he's just looking like a dude. You know, they're putting out these little guards on him. Wemby having trouble getting around the guards, still doing the same stupid stuff, putting the ball on his right hip, turning his back to him, turning around, putting the ball on the ground so they can swipe at it, giving him trouble, shoots the ball, misses, shoots a 3, misses, not really playing inside the paint, choosing to wait out there on the 3-point line. What are you doing, man? Come on, Wemby.
I
You're
mean,
the
it's cute.
tallest dude out
It's
there.
cute when the ball goes in, right, Joe? I mean, when the ball goes in the hoop, it's cute.
On the rare occasion now that it does go in, everybody's like, "Mira Wemby, mira Wemby." But I mean, you're the biggest guy out there. The one thing that I do see that Wemby needs to do, and the Spurs need to do better too, Wemby needs to get in better position before they even give him the ball.
Yeah.
You know, you look at other players in the days of old, like Robinson or Duncan, especially Duncan. He was going to get to his spot on the court no matter who was in front of him. And then he was going to call for the ball, get the ball. It was money. Wemby needs to do that. Fight for your position out there on the court, then call for the ball.
He doesn't have the size, dude.
You know, I'm like, damn, bro.
He doesn't have the shoulders for it, dude. He does. He gets bullied down low because he just doesn't have any size, and you really can't add size to him because he's going to end up getting more hurt more frequently. We're just kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. We're just going to hope that he gets more proficient in shooting. That's basically it, Joe. Hey, let's give me some love, Joe, and let's get into a hard rock conversation about some pop culture because I found something to be very funny over the weekend. If you have any questions about retirement services, 210-508-0369. That's my cell phone number, 210-508-0369. If you have questions about retirement accounts, if you have questions about life insurance, long-term care disability, if you have a business and you want to put up some benefits for your company, if you know any financial advisors who need a new home, I train financial advisors to do what they do as well. So give me a call, 210-508-0369. So, Joe, hard rock conversation, Joe, about stuff going on in the world. Because we were kind of trapped in the house for the last 3 days, right? It was cold outside, too icy to go. My truck's frozen. My truck's frozen over. I can't even open it right now.
That's funny. You try to go in the truck, you can't even open the damn door.
Yeah. We started watching movies, right? Because what else are we gonna do? Right? Just watch some TV, enough. Right? So, you know how back in the day I had that old radio show Halftime on Sports Star, and on Wednesdays everyone talked about the fact that I didn't watch a lot of movies growing up. Apparently, there are a lot of movies that Chica hasn't seen.
Really?
And I put one on the other day, and it was the first time she had ever seen it, Joe. And it was so exciting watching it with her. She had never seen Boys in the Hood.
Really?
I put it on, and she's like, "What are you watching?" Hey, is that Ice Cube?
She liked it?
Yeah, so many feelings and emotions came back. She did like the movie. She liked it a lot. So many emotions came back. Like, what was Ricky doing, Joe? Checking scratch-offs when some guy with a gun's after him. It was so stupid. It was so stupid. And Cuba Gooding Jr. fighting the air. Lawrence Fishburne with his soliloquy.
Yeah.
It was good, Joe. It was a good movie. We tried watching Fever Pitch last night, Joe, but it's not streaming for free. We saw the preview, and she goes, "I ain't paying $4 for that."
I told her, I gave Mike homework. I told her, because we text sometimes on Facebook, and I told her, I gave Mike homework, watch Fever Pitch. And she's like, all right, we'll try watching it. You know, I told her it's a good movie because I said it's a rom-com. I think you both will enjoy it. So she said that you all were going to try, but like you said, she's like, I ain't paying $4 for that.
Yeah, no, we paid $4 to watch other movies over the weekend.
Yeah.
You know, we saw other movies out there. We saw the movie Phone Booth last night.
Oh yeah, that's an old one
with Colin Farrell and Kiefer Sutherland.
That's so stupid. That's a great dumb movie. It's so stupid, dude.
Yeah,
I'm like, I'm in the phone booth. I'm like, bro, what are you doing, man?
So the lie that got us was when he's telling his wife that he didn't cheat on her. He just wanted to see if he could. Because the Katie Holmes character that he's been flirting with, he's in the phone booth. This is a 20-year-old movie, dude, right? So it's like phone booths existed back then, right? He's in the phone booth because he didn't want to call with his cell phone because his cell phone gets monitored by his wife.
Yeah.
So he's calling the young actress who's up and coming, and he's like, Kiefer Sutherland's there going, tell your wife what's going on. You want to have sex with her and you want to cheat on her. He goes, no, I wasn't going to cheat on her. I just want to see if I could.
Stupid, dude. You know what movie I did see over the weekend that was actually good? It was,
What's
to
that?
my surprise, was good. And if you have Paramount Plus, it's streaming for free. The Running Man, the new one,
Oh, really?
that one was actually pretty good, dude. It's a
Nice.
good action flick. Like if you just want to sit down, not you don't want to think too much about it. You just want to be entertained. There you go, man. Running Man on Paramount Plus. Thank me later. It's a good one.
Hand of a Fist says that he watched The Naked Gun on Prime, the new one with Liam Neeson, right? He says it's
Yeah.
all right. We saw American Gangster. That was pretty good. That was actually a very good movie the other
Oh,
day.
look at that, man. Somebody else watched it too. Sam Salinas. I watched the new Running Man yesterday and really enjoyed it. Definitely popcorn flick, really entertaining. That's what I'm saying, man. It was a good flick.
We've been on a Denzel spree over here. We saw a Man on Fire the other day. It was all right. Dude, Mike, Mario Cavazos asking the question. Mike, have you watched Dude, Where's My Car? Oscar
Oscar
worthy.
worthy.
And then, well, but it has a little bit of some egg drop soup. And then some wontons. And then you can have some fortune cookies. No more and then.
Yeah, look at Greg. Greg is saying he has off today. He's gonna check out the Running Man. Check it out and let me know what you thought about it on tomorrow's show, man.
Joy Con with a great comment right here. My man. Denzel's drunk in every movie, man. He plays an alcoholic, like in Flight. He was an alcoholic.
Yeah.
In
What was
Man
that
on
one where he was
Fire,
playing the cop? Where he was playing the cop and he was drinking that big old bottle chugging on
Training
vodka.
Day?
Training Day. He's in the damn car opening the bottle, chugging vodka. I'm like, what is this, dude?
That's funny.
And then what does he go on? He goes on to have that big old speech. I'm King Kong, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, bro, calm down.
My hard rock take right now is the fact that there's a TV show on Netflix that's nominated for all these Emmys that sucks ass. 1 second.
Bless you.
Sorry about that. I heard so much about the TV show Adolescence, which was created by Brad Pitt.
She could hated that, dude.
Dude, that movie, that miniseries, which is nominated for like best limited edition series, all that stuff, was like a miniseries, nominated for best actor, best supporting actor, all that stuff, is the biggest waste of 4 hours of my entire life.
That's what
we're looking at each other going, when is it going to get good?
She texted me, I guess, because y'all were watching it, and she goes, "We just watched Adolescence." She goes, "Stupidest movie ever."
It was bad, Joe. It was so bad.
Oh God! For her to say and like all caps ever. Like, I thought that was funny, dude.
Goodness!
Pick the loser there, man. Watching that Adolescence, you wasted a couple hours of your life. You're not getting back on that one.
You know what's funny is that yesterday, Joe, I walked outside, and when it was 19 degrees over here. I walked outside and just t-shirt and shorts. Had no issue, Joe. Had no issue.
Really?
Yeah, I got to check out the trash. Like, is the trash running in San Antonio today? Because it usually runs on Mondays over here.
I think it is, but they might be running a little late, because I mean, the thing is that there was some ice here in the neighborhood, and probably around San Antonio. And it's not like it's a real big deal because the sun's out already and everything's going to start melting off. But early in the morning when you're driving down, especially like my street, there's this little area where all the water collects.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just nothing but ice. Cars were kind of slipping. You had to be a little careful going around the corner, even like just transversing some of the streets earlier in the morning. You just see little patches of ice. Anything that was water on the road, it froze over because it was so cold. So I'm pretty sure that everybody's kind of erring on the side of caution there. So why wouldn't the city do the same thing with their trucks? They probably are going to still have trash pickup, but it's probably going to happen a little bit later on today. I know I usually hear them coming through my neighborhood, but I haven't heard them lately.
Yeah.
So they're probably just running a little bit behind.
It's still 31 degrees in San Antonio. So it's still freezing temperatures. I don't see those trucks going out there until it gets above 31, above 32.
Well, look at that. Somebody said he was saying that it was 19 this morning, being here in the hood, and then somebody said it's running. Pete Aguilar said it's running. Mine was picked up this morning. Yeah, so Mine's running late. They would have already picked it up by now.
Well, I'm hoping that mine's running late. Well, mine usually comes around noon anyway. So I'm gonna go wheel out my trash cans right now and go get it out there because man, I'm packed with trash right now. It used to be back in the day where we'd have 2 trash cans, and now they're just like you got one. You got one for the week, and it's brutal, Joe. I have to
The
take it.
trash cans got smaller, Mike.
Yeah, and I'm the guy who packs it into my truck and goes and finds a dumpster somewhere and just starts
Do the
chucking it in there.
Nearest apartment complex, bro. Just going over there and boom, throwing it in there.
Elementary schools, dude. Elementary schools have the big behemoth one. Just start chucking it in there.
No, man. It's funny. They have all these like apartment complexes near where I live, right? So I just put trash sometimes if it gets overflowed, and I'll just put it in the back of the car or whatever, and I go to the nearest apartment complex and just chunk it in there. That's what the dumpster's for, man. And now they're like, no illegal dumping, and they have cameras and everything, and I'm all.
We had somebody say that they saw the movie The Rip. I need to check that one out. That's the Matt Damon, Ben Affleck joint that just came out on Netflix. I am a big fan of both of those guys. Chica doesn't like them.
Really?
So I might have to watch that on my own.
You know, it was a good series that I started watching because everybody was telling me to watch. The Pit. The Pit is a thing, dude. Go and watch.
I heard about that, but then again, people told me about adolescence.
No, The Pit is it's entertaining, dude. It's fun to watch. It's just kind of graphic, dude. Like, because they're in an emergency room, basically, right? So there's a lot of things happening in there, but it's interesting watch, man.
Mario saying Rip is mid. People are watching it though, man. People are watching it.
Pay for the bigger can, bro. We had the biggest can they had right in the beginning when the city came and gave you these trash cans, but the robot arm that comes up and picks the trash can up and dumps it after it kept doing that so many times, it finally broke the trash can. So then we call the 311 or whatever you call, and they go, oh yeah, leave your trash can out there, we'll give you a new one. They take their sweet time, dude, and they finally give you another trash can, and you look at it and it's a little smaller than the other one. So I'm like, what is this, dude?
Yeah.
Like, dude, whatever, man.
You know what's a silly movie we watched over the weekend that I forgot to bring up? We watched the movie, and it was a Netflix original, if I'm not mistaken. It's called Senior Year.
Yeah.
And it's with Rebel Wilson. You might remember as Fat Amy from the Pitch Perfect movies.
She ain't fat no more.
No. She's a little bit smaller in this movie. Sorry, excuse me. My goodness. It's about a woman who was 17 years old in high school and about to graduate high school. And she gets into a cheerleading accident, which puts her in a coma. And she wakes up 20 years later. So she's 37 and now thinks that she's 17. And she wants to go back to school as a 37-year-old. Okay, Rebel Wilson is hysterical in the movie. It's a very, if you're forced to watch a chick flick or a couples movie, Senior Year or whatever that movie was called was actually pretty good. It was pretty good. It wasn't Oscar worthy, but it passes the time and it's funny. It's a lot of early 2000s nostalgia in that movie. It was pretty good. I know Chica's gonna want to watch more movies. I wonder if I should work today, Joe. I mean, should I work? Or should I take the day off?
Take it off. Have cuddles with Chica, dude.
She's over here making food.
You go.
I see cilantro. I see sliced up avocado. I see what's it called? Diced tomatoes and onions. She's making something. I have no idea what it is.
Go get cuddles with Chica. Go watch some movies. You know what? This is a scene right here, man. I just saw this on the X. Look at this. Slightly different conditions going into the fourth quarter. Can you imagine calling the game? We have slightly different conditions going into the fourth quarter of today's game. Look at you can't see nothing, man.
He didn't kick the damn field goal. He didn't kick the damn field goal.
Dude. When they said, "Oh, there's a slight chance of snow in today's forecast," I'm like, "Bro, it's a full-on blizzard. How did these people get home, Mike? Like, you can't see nothing."
And I asked Chica, I said, "Can you imagine if we lived in those cities?" And like, I was like, "Hey, babe, I got tickets to go see." I got tickets to the game. You want to go to the game? She goes, man, she'd be miserable.
Oh, dude. She said, you're going miserable. By yourself. You know what's funny? I was joking with Sean yesterday. And then, of course, the wives were there. So I was joking with Sean and I was telling him, bro, there's no way that you would be there in the blizzard watching this game. I said, I know. I was telling him his wife wouldn't be there, right, watching the
Right.
game, and I told the same thing about Alex. And the girls heard me. They're like, "No, we would be there watching it because it was snowing." And then the full on blizzard. Sean looks at me. He's like, "Nah, dude, f that. I'll be in the suite with you, dude." He said, "Make room for one more." And then the ladies are like, "Yeah, look, we could still be in the." I'm like, "No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. I promise you. If it was like that, the weather was like that, nobody's wife, girlfriend, whatever, is gonna want to be freezing their butt off watching the damn game. You know,
Hmm.
it's too cold for that, dude. Be like, it's time to go."
Yeah, no, it's miserable. Now, here's the thing: I do like outdoor games more than indoor games, and I've been to football games where it's been cold or it's been rainy. I like that atmosphere. I don't think I can do 20-degree weather, dude, and it's snowing. Like that's
No,
just a little bit
man.
too extreme. But then you have those UTSA fans who are like, we like the Alamo Dome because we like to be indoors. Joe, I'm looking at ticket prices. I'm on StubHub right now. Actually,
Yeah.
SeatGeek. What do you think the cheapest ticket is, cost wise, for
Super
Super
Bowl?
Bowl 60? And I'm talking about section
$4,000.
405, row 24,
$4,000.
including fees, $6,941, Joe.
Why?
If you wanted to be at the 20-yard line, row 28, low level, 16,437.
No, man.
If you wanted to be behind the goalpost, row 6, 10 grand, which considering all the other ones, not bad. If you want to have the best, you know how they have like the best, what was it called? There's 549 listings, right? The
Yeah.
best seats in the house, row 6, 45-yard line, $34,000 a seat.
That's too expensive, man.
The best deal score, the best bang for the buck is 50-yard line, upper deck, Joe. Row 11, $8,400.
And that doesn't even include your room and board. That doesn't even include your plane ticket. I mean, you add it all together, dude. That's just way too much money. Why?
Mm-hmm.
You could go somewhere nice, Mike, like what? Jamaica?
Literally, my trip for Europe for earlier
You
this
know?
year. For earlier
I'm
this
like,
year.
you could do that instead, you know? You probably have a better time than just being sitting down there just watching the damn game, dude.
No,
No.
you can have an all-inclusive trip to Barbados, flight
There you
included,
go.
for 4 nights, 5 nights in Barbados at a 5-star resort for the same
Sounds like
cost
a
of
good
one
time.
ticket. For one ticket.
Yeah. It'd be nice clear water, not that caca water over here. You know what? I'll be at the Spurs game this Sunday, dude. I was talking with Alex and with Sean, and Greg was there for a bit too. And Greg's going to be honored on Sunday for being a season ticket holder, right, at the Spurs game. So he's going to get to bang the drum and all that stuff. And the game, I think, is like 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So I called my boy up, Spernandez, and I told him, "Hey, man, do you got any tickets for that game on Sunday?" I said, "I'll buy them from you, bro. Like, you know, I just want to know if you have them." And he's like, "No, don't even worry about it." So thank you, Rick. He gave me the tickets, you know. And I told him and Myra are going to be going to the game in
Yeah.
Houston, right? So I said I'll send in some feria for the drinks, you know, pay my boy back. But I will be at the game on Sunday, and I'm going to be in there with my boy LG. DJ
Nice.
LG is coming with me because he's usually working the game. And I called him yesterday, and he's like, "No, I'm working the game today, and this and that." I was just telling him, "Hey, man, are you going to be free next Sunday?" Because he works different games, right? And he texted me back, and he's like, "No, man, I'm not going to be working Sundays. You know, Sunday's game, I'll be off." So I said, "Let's go, dude." So DJ LG will be in tow with me. We're going to be sitting in the lower bowl. We're not going to be up there with the peasants, Mike.
Man, Joy-Con coming up strong with a couple of good comments here. Will Joe sell it to the Jackals like Mike did, is what he's
Nah,
asking.
bro. I'll still yelling, "Stupid, stupid." I ain't gonna show my belly, Mike. You went in there and you showed your belly. You rolled over, showed your belly real quick.
And then he says, Joy-Con asks a question, are you still a peasant if you pay $6,000 for a nosebleed seat to the Super Bowl?
Yep, you're still a peasant, bro.
You're a peasant there. not in San Antonio, but not in Houston, right? You're a peasant
Yeah.
there. You know, that's funny, Joe. That's funny. No one believes the story that I told that I was given insider information about the Super Bowl halftime show back in the day
They're
that
telling
it
you stop
happened.
the cap.
So apparently, who's Bad Bunny? I saw the photos that came out of him rehearsing for the Super Bowl halftime show. He'll
Yeah,
apparently be wearing a skirt, like
yeah.
really advancing the cause for Latinos over there by wearing women's clothing.
I don't listen to that stuff anyway, so I don't
I'm okay
probably
with
gonna
him.
not even tune in.
I'm okay with him being the Super Bowl halftime performer, but dude, settle down.
I'm probably not gonna watch anyway. I don't that music doesn't interest me, man. I'm just like, nah, it's a hard pass for me.
Dude, everyone in their 20s listens to it, man. When Chica and I went to that one nightclub in San
Yeah.
Marcos, a couple months ago, it was all Bad Bunny radio, dude. That's all it was.
That said Mike knew Janet Jackson was gonna have a wardrobe malfunction. Insider
Dude, didn't they
information.
telegraph it? Didn't they telegraph it when the lyric was "gonna have you naked" by the end of this song? Boom,
Boom.
boom, boom.
Can you imagine if that would have happened now? That was like before the true advent of social media and stuff, you know? It would have
Yeah.
been crazy, dude.
Oh, it would have been all over the news. It was, before social media. It's kind of funny because, like, I think about all the things that parties and outings that my friends and I had, and trips that we all took. We have no
Yeah.
photos of it. It's all just memories. I mean, somebody might have a couple of photos that they took with a disposable camera that never got developed. Right? It's probably just in someone's basement someplace or somebody's garage. But we'll never have that, dude.
Look at Joy-Con Drift King. He's saying Joe wants Foreigner, White Snake for halftime. No, man. I'm not, I mean, I like them, but I'm not like advocating for them for the halftime. But it'd be cool to actually see in the halftime show. Why don't you put on Metallica, dude?
No,
Well, they
because
can
no one
still perform and sing, dude.
because it would be the least watched show of all time, Joe.
No, it would not, dude.
Joe,
You know what? They could do this. Look, in real talk, man, because they've done it in the past. You put Metallica in the halftime show, right?
no one
And then
watches.
Metallica will bring in some of the best acts for today too. They actually did a collaboration with like Lady Gaga, and that was actually pretty good. Like if they do collaborations with other artists and they incorporate it into their halftime performance, it could be something really cool, But I'm just
Dude,
saying that's just me.
heavy metal would not fly because females would tune out. Well,
Yeah, put in some rage, man.
what woman's gonna go? Hey, man, I want to go watch Metallica perform.
Well, you know what?
The
It
the,
ain't
the
for
whole, the,
them
the whole
then.
it is no that's literally what the halftime show is for. Halftime shows are for either young people or women. That is what they've made it the last 15 years. That's why you have Bruno Mars. Why you have The Weeknd. You have Katy Perry. You've had, you've had the acts, and even like the only one that deviated was a little bit was Kendrick
Yeah.
Lamar, but Kendrick Lamar is still for millennials. So it's for millennials and younger or women. That is it. That's all halftime for. You're never gonna have AC/DC. You're not gonna have Metallica. You're not gonna have Joe. You're not gonna have any rock artists.
Who wants to see AC/DC now, man? Angus
Who-
Young out there gonna wheel him out in a wheelchair, bro. Like, come on, man. They're already old. Like AC/DC, Def Leppard. And some of these bands from back then, I mean, they're just old as hell now, dude. Who wants to see them now? I don't.
Right.
Even like Guns N' Roses, everybody got excited when they came to the Alamo Domes. Like, why do I want to watch them? They're so freaking old.
Fat Guns N' Roses.
Yeah,
And people are
man.
saying, Mike, there are still rocker chicks. Yeah, there's like one for every 100. I mean, that's you go to a hard rock concert. It's a sausage fest, dude. It's like 10 dudes for every one girl there. So that's why it'll never happen. I like Metallica, Joe, and I'm one of those like t-shirt Metallica fans. Like, I'm not a master of puppets, but I did see the magic of the Black Album. Okay.
Yeah.
And Joe, the halftime show is for women or young people. That's it. We got aged out, Joe. They're not going to have, and that's why you see the Ushers of the world or the Weekends of the world be the halftime performer. And Bad Bunny was the right choice. It was the right choice because that's what people are listening to.
No, bro.
That's what people are listening to now. That's what the young people listen to now.
Not what I'm listening to. I ain't listening to that, dude.
You're not in the demo, and I'm not in the demo either, Joe.
Yeah, I ain't listening to that. Look at what they have. Mario Cavazos, man. He says they made the announcements with Oyster Bay.
Switchfoot.
What's the
Switchfoot.
acts coming through, Mike?
La Tropa F.
Come
They
on,
still
Mike.
around?
You're gonna go watch them. Come on, Mike.
Candlebox. Hijo.
Mira, Candlebox.
Mira, 1994 in the house.
You're not gonna see El Fibre, Jay Perez, Drowning Pool.
Drowning Pool, nice.
Some of these acts are whack, dude. Like Candlebox, really?
Who's the
I'm not
best
gonna
actor
pay.
they've ever had there, Joe?
I'm not paying VIP for this, dude. No.
I remember
I
they
mean,
had
not Candle.
they had Filter there a while back, like 5 or 6 years ago. That was a good act.
Yeah, Filter's good.
Dude,
this is rough, dude.
Oyster Bake is whack, dude.
This is rough, bro. Saliva. Damn, they're still around.
Saliva.
God, dude.
Oh my God, that's it. That's all they have.
That's it. That's all they got. Oh man.
You know, they have not Adele, Alele. What's that?
Oh God. Jeez, man. There's no really good act coming through that Oyster Bake, man. I'm like, if you're gonna go, you're gonna want to go and you're gonna want to get VIP, dude. I'm not gonna sit out there in the freaking field and bake out there with all the peasants, dude. Hell no.
Right.
But I'm gonna spend that much money. Why am I gonna pay for Candlebox, bro? Like, come on.
I want to look up Jazz Fest 2026. I went there a couple of years with Gabby Girl. I want to see who their artists are this year at the lineup. Let's see here. This is an outdoor festival in New Orleans, but it's not like at the. It's just general admission. You just get in there. It's like $75, and you get to have a day's worth of concerts, right?
Yeah.
Rod Stewart. That can't be the headliner. Because I saw Foo Fighters. Stewart. I saw the Foo Fighters there a while back.
David Grohl's gonna come out and show his face after what he did, Mike.
Okay, here are the headliners for Jazz Fest, April 23rd through March 3rd. Eagles, all right. Stevie Nicks, Rod Stewart, Kings of Leon, Lainey Wilson, Teddy Swims, Lord, John Batiste, Nas, T-Pain, the Black Keys, Earth, Wind, and Fire.
That's some good acts, bro.
Trombone Shorty, the Isley Brothers, Herbie Hancock. Man, I mean, it's not the Rolling Stones that they had a while back.
No, but the Black Keys are good. Teddy Swims is good. They had some other acts there you just said that were good. I'd like to watch.
They have Bruce Hornsby. Yeah. It's not as good as years past, man. People asking, is Kid Frost alive? Tony asking, can you imagine Ice during Fiesta events?
You know they're going to be out there, bro. That's the thing.
Yeah. Well.
They can be out there, man.
Yeah, well, I don't think Ice is going to survive Market Square, man.
You know, with all the Edgars.
the Edgars leading the revolts.
That's probably who they're going to go pick up. If your haircut, if you come to a Fiesta event with this type of haircut, you're getting picked up. They're going to scoop you up. Alice Cooper is coming to town in April. All right.
Rafa saying with that light up, the Oyster Bake light up, St. Mary's isn't going to make any money for scholarships for their students.
No.
People go there for the oysters. I mean, they just go there for the oysters. But, you know, I mean, are oysters that big of a draw?
No, dude.
Like if it was a crawfish bake, like crawfish broil or whatever,
eating an oyster is eating like a moco. You're eating a moco, dude.
Yeah. I mean,
you swallow the moco. No, bro.
Out of all the things that they could have been like, do people go there for chicken on a stick? Which, by the way, is the only thing that I like about Fiesta is chicken on a stick. That and the flambeau parade.
Matt saying you all free on March 7th. I don't know, dude, because I think I'm going camping the next day. So I don't know if it's on the 7th or the 8th. I got to check my schedule.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, Joe, I got to get back to work, my man. Matt's reminding us that the SAFC season opener is coming up. Go check that out.
That's why.
We'll have to go to at least one of the games, one of the matches this year.
I went. You should come, dude. It was fun, dude. You come with me, and that way I can get tickets behind the goalpost. It's fun.
I've been twice, and I've enjoyed both times, Joe. I've enjoyed both times.
Yeah. Oyster bake is a family tradition. My dad used to work at St. Mary's. It's cool, man, that you got that family tradition. It's just the acts it got this year. I ain't gonna go. They ain't gonna be able to get me in there.
Yeah, and the parking sucks at St.
Oh
Mary's,
yeah,
man.
dude.
You have to park
Bad.
in somebody's yard off of Cincinnati, and it's like, what are we doing here, man? Why do I have this 8-year-old kid doing valet parking for me? What's this all about? Parking in someone's yard.
Park
You can
somebody's
tell
yard for
there's no
$10.
HOA over there, right?
Come on, get in this. Come on, we can still fit you in here.
They unhinge the gate so you can park in their backyard. What kind of ghetto ass
They
crap
go
is
ahead and
this?
curl back the chain link fence. Pull
And
it
then they
back a
try,
little more.
and then they're trying to sell you lemonade while they're there.
Yeah, they're
That's
cooking
funny.
something in the backyard. Hey, let's go ahead and make some money selling wieners.
Chica just walked
You
back
know?
in over here. I got to ask her a question down after the show. So all right. So I'm gonna ask her real fast. I just want to get her answer. So one of the big events at Fiesta, babe, is a thing called Oyster Bake, and they have like all these people go by St. Mary's University, right, which is on the west side, to eat oysters, right? Is that a real draw? Because I'm thinking in San Antonio, do people really want to go eat oysters? She goes, I would.
Oh God.
Now, would you mind parking on somebody's front yard? Because that's what they do over there. Every house in the neighborhood, you get to park in their yard because they charge you parking there. It's so ghetto. Okay, helping out the community. You got. I was telling Joe, you got some 8-year-old kid going, "Come on back, come on back, come on back," and then sometimes they unhinge their gates so that they can have more parking in their
Peel 'em back.
backyard. It's the most San Antonio thing ever.
It's all puro, bro. It's puro. All right, man. Let's go ahead and call it, man. We'll go ahead and see you boys tomorrow. Mike's got to get back to Chica, and I got to get ready to go log into work.
Yeah, Mario says you can park at the church nearby or the funeral home across the street. If you know, you know.
This is
or
true.
Thieves Mortuary is right across the street.
Yep.
Don't park at the Fred's Fish Fry. That's a drug front, allegedly.
God. And they have that little, like a little loan place that they used to have right across the street from St. Mary's, one of the gates there.
Yeah.
And they charge you to park in there. Their parking lot is little, dude.
Yeah, that little church right there, man. They clean up, dude. That church next door.
Look at somebody sent this in the media share. This is funny. They said Mike at the Oyster Bake. That's that dude from White Chicks, man.
Terry Crews.
Yeah.
Very nice. All right, everyone have a fantastic day. Mario says that his in-laws live across the street. He's got the hookup.
There you go.
I want to park next to your old bedroom, dude. Just park onto the side.
God.
No HOA in sight, Joe. Not at all.
No, not at all, dude. Not over there. Why would they need it, Mike? Why would they need it?
Oysters, dude. Their draw is oysters. Like St. Mary's decided 50 years ago that they were going to do an oyster bake. I was telling Joe Chica that they should do a crawfish broil. That would be a bigger draw. But then again, that's the cost of that.
Yeah, the bigger draw to me is like they have the Cowboy breakfast coming up on Friday. People are going to be going out for that.
Do people still do that, Joe?
They still do that. Sean was doing that. They're going to go do it. Sean, Alex, and they're taking their wives. They're going to meet up, I think, with Greg and some other people.
I'm disappointed in my friends for that.
They're going to do that.
That is the lamest event in San Antonio every year is Cowboy
Why?
breakfast.
It's free, dude.
Dude, it's free for runny tacos, dude. Runny egg tacos.
They make you some wiener and egg.
Go stand out in 15-degree weather for 4 hours to hear bad music and get wiener and egg. Come on, man.
It's a free wiener and egg taco, bro.
At 5 in the morning, Joe. Let's have breakfast at 5 or 6 in the morning.
Yeah, Mario says they're having one right around the corner from us at the 151 Saloon.
That's interesting. Whenever you have like 151 Saloon, or you have what's that one bar on Bandera and 604? It's just outside the loop. They have like their own oyster bake. That's pretty interesting. But like the actual Cowboy breakfast, which they used to have at the Freeman Coliseum, and then they moved it to Central Park Mall, and then they moved it to whatever Far West Rodeo, whatever that was called back in the day. Dude, never, dude. I'll never
Look
go
at
to that event
Sean.
ever again.
Sean saying it's about being with friends, and it's also inside.
Well, then
You
it's
start
different.
off at the Men's Palace first, and then you work your way around the other events.
Well, Sean, I love you like crazy. You've been one of my best friends since I was 14 years old. I don't want to see you at 5 in the morning unless we're at a casino.
Oh my God. You gonna wear Lululemon?
Yeah, I'm gonna wear my Lululemon and boots. Very nice.
All right,
Everyone have
man,
a fantastic day, dude.
You have a good one. We'll see you all tomorrow.
Everyone stay warm.